Okay, right. Yo, everyone. It's your boy, Steve Solge, and with me today, I'm going to go for an order of the screen. So, I mean, they're named anyway, but guys, introduce yourself one by one. So, go on, Ralph.
Hi, it's Ralph from his own little quarantine.
Dan, it's you next.
Stan, just out of the bar, hence why I'm wearing absolutely fuck all.
Yay!
Luke.
Hello, Luke. I'm eating dinner. I'm also going to move my phone to something else to hold it onto because I need to have my hands free to eat my dinner. But I have all of the opinions. I bring it to you every ball.
Yes, you do. Mukbang. Yes.
Sister Icons over here. I'm just here to see Dan's chest hair. Thanks.
And finally,
Floppy Bob, live to you from Dan's flat, bringing you Nina and Quarantine of Realness.
yes. Hey, people in the chat, Suikin and Kurt. So, right, I'm going to be a massive dick. We are just chatting about it beforehand, but I'm going to mute everyone and try and lead this stream. Guys, fully school style, put your hands up if you want to say something, but also I'll just go through you guys one by one as well. But if you want to cut in, because again, I don't want to talk too much. So if you want to go, no, Ralph, not yet, it's too soon. If you guys want to cut me off, just put a hand up or something, or whip out some body part, and I'll take, the more explicit it is, the more I'm going to take notice, right? So let's just do that. Luke adjusted his camera, getting ready. Thank you very much. So again, I didn't take notes this episode. So first of all, we have them assigning roles to talk about, I guess. So sure, I'll unmute Ralph. Any thoughts on the beginning episode, the workroom stuff? We missed Untucked, right? So we don't really know what happened with that.
Yeah, there was a lot of mention of Untucked. I need to catch up. I have a Plex server where I can watch it all. But no, I didn't think there was that much drama. It was mainly about the cone tits. That was about it.
Yeah, that pissed me off though. So Britta really pushed for that role, and then was really ungrateful about it, and was just a bit of a dick generally, right?
Yeah, just say thank you.
Right, that's what I was saying. Right, sorry, I'm moving to Dan. Jump in. You're on the mic.
Is this just general thoughts about the episode?
No, in the beginning bit, so workroom at the beginning, so choosing roles, the Untucked chat, all this, all that jazz.
Frustrating, right? Because now the Untucked is absolutely vital to get what they're on about. They were assuming there was some sort of GG drama, but we don't know anything about it, so the whole thing was a bit confusing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Any thoughts on, I guess, the way they chose the roles or anything like that?
I got to admit, I was running my path at that moment, so I don't really remember it.
Okay, all right. Sistias.
You are drunk on power right now. I cannot. Anyways, I kind of zoned out of the whole picking roles bit. But yeah, about Untucked, this is really shit because we're only getting half of the story. That is the tea. I'm gonna have to message. Netflix has an LGBT whatever account now. I'm gonna message them and I'm gonna tell them what's what and say that what the fuck. We need Untucked. We need it to be released now. They already have everything filmed. There's no reason for it not to be released.
Also, especially Zarbo series as well. They had it come out on Netflix as well, right? And afterwards it was Prime, wasn't it? But then it's just nothing now. It does seem really weak. So they really tried to support their international audiences, and then there's no way for us to get it. Again, we know what we're doing in terms of getting stuff on the dark web, and none of us can really find it consistently.
Don't advertise it, but sure.
It's just a nightmare. Right, Floppy. It's time to get Floppy.
Hey, no, I mean I agree because it's weird because I think the whole thing apparently is that we're going to get all of Untucked together in one big block until when it comes out. Yeah,
which is pointless. It's useless to us.
Which is useless because you obviously get to the end and I mean, only half the story, as Yaz was saying, but also it's just kind of pointless anyway. Because who's going to sit there and watch Untucked all in one go? That's not how you engage.
It's not relevant anymore, and especially if you're going to do that, don't push it on the episode, right?
Exactly. And I think that's kind of the problem that they've kind of dug themselves into with the way that it's set up, in the sense that no kind of interactions between queens goes without being filmed, and so as a result, Untucked is the pivotal part for the non-workroom other like workroom extended kind of stuff, really. So like, of course, that's where a lot of the drama is going to be. It's where like the tensions are at the highest because they've just come off the runway. Like, it seems so weird to sort of leave us hanging with that, or like to make the episode so like hinge so much around it.
Totally, I completely agree. Also, cheers for joining us, Suki and Kurt. Especially like we set up the stream like 20 minutes before we went live as well. So that's super cool. Thanks, guys. Let us know what your thoughts as you go along. And yeah, like Kurt's right. Like who binge watches Untucked like after the season? Like literally no one's going to do that. They must know that as well. It's really weird. So sorry, Horatio, I don't know if you heard, but we're chatting about like the workroom stuff at the moment. So do you have any thoughts on that? Like the handing out the roles, the drama from Untucked none of us know about, etc.
Oh, you've unmuted me now.
I have, yeah, go on. You got your 2 minutes.
Not on. Yeah, I had strong feelings about the drama last week on Untucked, as in the sense that Jackie was very vocal about, you had a lot of time to prepare, but I think that's unfair because people are going to still be top and bottom at the end of the day. So.
Oh, okay. So it was the thing when none of us. I think you're the only person who's seen Untucked out of all of us.
Yeah, but Jackie still sort of voiced the same thing at the start of the episode, or Widow reminisced about it, and it's like, yes, we have a lot of time to prepare, but at the end of the day, there's going to be tops and there's going to be bottoms. So don't kick me when I'm down, basically. So I kind of agreed with Widow on that.
Yeah, I mean that definitely sounds fair to me. I think it's interesting as well. Suikin is I earned this power. I think as well. I listen to Race Chaser every week. Alaska would have definitely listened to it if you guys don't already. But they were saying as well that like Alaska saying like obviously it kind of is like the improv challenge. You're supposed to have the improv challenge before, but Snatch Game is far more of an improv challenge. But if you're not great at that, or if nothing really works out for you in your favor that way, like you have plenty of time to prepare one-liners you can just whip out, or props, etc. So like Alaska had like, why did you come up and fuck me in the ass sometime? Do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Like you could just stuff you prepare beforehand to whip out at any time that's just always going to be funny. So you have to choose characters, I think, that kind of lend themselves to that. So obviously, like if you can improv, great, it will step your pussy up that extra level. But I don't think there really is an excuse to do completely shit. So I feel like I do kind of agree with that to an extent, but I don't agree with like the bullying aspect of it that it sounds like there was. So that's kind of my fault. So anyone else put their hand up if you want to like say anything about this? Okay, that's it. Go.
I just want to say thanks to my fans who said I look really good. Thanks.
Fully mute you. Oh, I've unmuted the wrong person. Oh god. Okay. So right. So next, you just go on to the actual challenge. Like nod. Okay. Cool. Right. So okay, let's just go. Should we just talk about what we thought of the challenge generally? Maybe go through with different contestants. So Ralph.
Well, the challenge was like, it's a typical musical, wasn't it? I didn't think there was anything particularly groundbreaking by it. There was some good performances. I think Heidi brought it. Gigi was amazing, but she's my winner, so that's fine.
Sorry, I mute myself as well. Just try and be fair. Cool. So who do you think was the weakest?
The weakest? Well, it was Britta.
Yeah, I agree completely. All right, Dan.
I loved the Rusical. I thought it was one of the strongest Rusicals they've had. Maybe because I like Madonna and I got like the references, but it was just really well put together. It was quite smart and the choreography was good. Like when we were chatting about it, like none of the performances were like bad. They were all pretty good, but like I did think Britta looked like shit. And Britta's she looks exactly the same. Her makeup and hair every week was basically like the same with a different dress, and she had fucking conical bra Madonna. So like it was really iconic, and she did nothing with it. And other people had like something that wasn't as identifiable, and they did much better jobs with it. So yeah, it was a satisfying episode because I think we all wanted Britta gone.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I muted you. Sorry. Why are you not unmuting? You're not unmuting. You can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves.
Because I muted myself. Right. Sorry. I'm gonna have to go now for real. Oh. Sorry. But just want to say I'm okay with the episode and all of that. I thought Heidi was unfairly in the bottom. I think I would have enjoyed more to seeing Jackie there. I know there was a lot of, she didn't give us any Madonna, but neither did Jackie. And at least Heidi's choreography was really impressive, and she had a lot of energy with Jackie. So I didn't agree with the bottom two, but other than that, it was a good episode. I'm glad to see the end of Britta, and yeah, sorry guys. See you next time. Bye.
Hey, well, yeah, I thought the root score was quite good. I thought everyone did well enough. I definitely think my least favorites were Britta, although it's half a. I gotta say it's half a Britta because she looks nothing like Madonna in any kind of way. But at the same time, then you look at Widow, and either she did a lot better. So it's like, no. But yeah, I agree that I think Jackie and Britta was supposed to be in the bottom, to be honest. I completely agree with what Horatio was saying. And I do agree with Sutikin. Jen was robbed. I thought Jen should have won. Gigi did great, looked great, did great, but Jen fucking stole it. And yeah.
See, the thing is, I don't mind not talking much about the challenge because I don't know Madonna really. Like, I like that song "Me Against the Music" or whatever it's called. Like, that was like the one time I know anything about her, or that thing she did with Britney. But I don't know Madonna, so like, honestly, got no ideas. I don't know if Gigi did good or not. I muted you. There's nothing you can do but listen to me hate on Madonna. She's the worst. No, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know who did good. I don't know who did bad. But I don't like. I want to talk to Bob actually mainly about this because Bob is like fully pushing Jackie in all directions, and I don't really get it. I think I don't dislike her at all, but I don't like really get. I don't think she's done anything so far that sort of is that great. And I think this would have been the one challenge, especially that she could have used to showcase her talent, and I feel like she did the opposite. So go on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have to say, like, as much as I love Jackie, I do think she deserves to be in the bottom two this week. I was glad that she was safe just because I like her, but like, it wasn't right. I mean, in the sense that, yeah, like, she's such like. So what I do love about her is I just think she's normally thought through millions of little details about things. She's normally very quick, very funny, and I think almost that's actually why I think she should have been in the bottom, because actually this is probably more of a fall from grace in some ways. Like Heidi, like, we knew she'd be okay at the dancing bit, we knew she'd be kind of okay at the singing bit, but like the actual kind of performancey bit, just full grant there we go. If you can't mute yourself, how are you going to mute somebody else? But like, I think it was almost more of a fall from grace for Jackie. And so actually, I do think she should have been in the bottom for that reason, in the sense that this should have been her challenge, as Grant was saying, and she failed. It's kind of like if Jan had done badly in this challenge, like actually, when Jujubee was like the only singer in season 2, pretty much, and like at that point, and she bombed and she was in the bottom 2 kind of because of it, because they were like, actually, like, this should be your challenge. You fucking up means you really fucked up. Whereas someone who can't sing, like, singing badly isn't necessarily doing that much. So yeah, but I mean, I normally really like Jackie, and I went back to watch I'm That Bitch and really liked Jackie in that. I feel like this is not a great week for Jackie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was something I was going to say, but I forgot. Ralph, you got something you want to say, don't you? Oh, sorry, I thought you were Okay, sis.
I was gonna say Jackie did really well on last week.
Oh.
On fucking what's it called? The impressions one. Snatch Game. Thank you, Dan. I heard you from here, all the way from Croydon. Yeah, like Snatch Game. I thought she was up there. Like, she could have won. To me, I wouldn't have been mad if she won. I thought she was really good. So I don't know what you're on about her not bringing it, because she brought it last week. Okay, you might have not brought it this week, but last week she did for me at least.
Well, like, this is the thing. So, first of all, like, nod or something. Do you actually know who she played? Like, do you know that character? Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, it's hard to say, but also, like, I guess you're subjectively good. I love having you on mute, but like, at the same time, like, it's not like it wasn't an interesting original Snatch Game character. Like, it was good. She obviously did well, But hold on, I'm gonna go back to you. I'm going back to you. But like we've seen that sort of character Snatch Game for us. All I'm saying.
I'm joking. I'm not saying anything.
This is stressing me out. So yeah, so Bob, sorry, that's the thing I was going to ask you, but like you were like really fighting for a hard this episode, and again, but like I was kind of surprised to hear you say that you do think you should have been in the bottom. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, I wasn't sure who you were addressing with that. Yeah, no, I think I was really fighting for it. I do really like it, but I do just think, yeah, it wasn't a great week. I think Heidi made less sense being there. Like Heidi kind of did some other really good, impressive stuff. I like what Kurt's saying about the whole like small town sister kind of thing. I think they also know that kind of Heidi's time is, as much as I love her, like Heidi's time is sort of wearing out, and I think they are sort of trying to almost make it easier for themselves later down the line to be like, oh, this is your third time in the bottom, okay, bye. Whereas, so I kind of feel like it's a little bit like that. I think in some ways this might be the fire under Jackie's ass that she needs anyway. So I don't actually think she necessarily needed to lip sync for this to be a wake up call. Perhaps in this sort of challenge, and I say wake up call, like she's been doing well in other things, like as Yaz was saying about the Snatch Game, which was great. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of sad because right at the beginning, I really wanted Jackie to do well, but I kind of can't see her being top 2, top 3. Like I kind of see her maybe getting to like 5th and then stopping there, or 4th maybe. Obviously with Sherry not there, maybe that will help her. But yeah, I don't know. I love her, but I can't see it for her at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna give it one more week in that case. So yeah, I see what you can say. Like the only one I really liked, and again, maybe because I do kind of know the era of Madonna a little bit, that helped. But Crystal, I think, was really great. Like the fact that she did the reverb stuff herself as well. I just assumed that was like part of the mixing or whatever. But she did that herself. I thought that was proper funny. Like she was the most entertaining to watch for me, in my opinion. And also the other thing I was going to say, like my other general thought in the challenge is that like the mixing, like whoever does the production and the auto tune has done a great job, because we heard the recordings. Like I know they obviously get multiple takes, but most of them were horrific. Like this kind of like it's difficult as well, because back in the old musical challenges and singing challenges and stuff, there was far less of that. So I think it's really hard to tell which queens actually performed well in terms of recording, which I do think is quite a big part of the challenge. Yeah, does anyone else have any thoughts on that? Go.
Sorry, I know I literally just spoke a second ago. I was really impressed by Crystal this episode, because I think like you were saying, like she did all those little bits herself, but also she brought fun into like, actually some of the songs weren't that like funny, like some of the bits, like there were some little jokes thrown in. Like I think I agree with Dan. I think it's better than some of the other musicals we've had. I think season 6's musical is the one with like, I think that's probably the best one we've ever had actually. But I don't know. I think actually she took something that could have been quite a shit role, like because that had potential to just be a bit like, ooh, I'm just moving around a bit. Okay, next. And I think she turned it into something really worth it. Like it was proper. Like she started off like right in front of the camera, and it looked a little bit like she'd been CGI'd in, and I was like so here for it. I thought that was great. I'm so glad that Crystal finally, after 7 weeks, is in the top for something. I'm so glad. Yeah, and for a singing challenge, no less.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So actually, we move to the runway. Okay, if so, I had an idea. Is this super controversial? But I was thinking, like, in Toot or Boot style, guys, join in the chat as well. Also, Kurt was saying, sorry, that's something I was going to say. Kurt said, I wish they sung live like the Share one. I totally agree. Like, I think that would have definitely added a lot to it. Yeah, I'm going to unmute you.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay, sorry. So anyway, my idea for the runway is like Toot or Boot style. So I was thinking we can all just like, I'll say the names. I've got to try and remember the names. Or if someone else can do it if they remember the names. We can put a thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs up or thumbs down, like Toot or Boot. And then if you guys have anything you want to add to it as well, then like put your hand up, and then you could like give extra thoughts on it potentially. And yeah, like if like say one person boots and everyone else toots, then like we talked to that person can say their piece or whatever as well. So should we do that? I got to try and remember who went first though. So Jan first of all, right? So go on. Yep, unanimous agreement. Does anyone have anything you want to say about it? Cool. All right. Fair. Jackie, right? Ralph. Okay. Yeah. Like I agree. Like it wasn't like a straight away thumbs up for me, but yeah. Who was next? Who knows who's next? Literally no one. Oh god. Oh god. Should we say Gigi then? Guys, help in the chat. Widow. Come on, it's got to be a thumbs down. What are you guys doing? It was like, well, okay, Bob, I'm muting you.
Sorry, I can't remember what it was. Oh no, I remember. Oh, I remember. Sorry, boo. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say. Okay, good. So wait, who are we missing? So Sherry. Oh, sorry. Yes, you got something you want to say?
I was just gonna say she did like the outfit itself was just shit. Like the outfit that Michelle wore was shit, and the hair that she wore was shit. So, but I guess she did pick it, so that was
Exactly.
choice. But it was like true to the original, I guess, which was shit. So, so yeah. So,
Okay, Heidi. Okay, sis, back to you.
come on, guys. She needs. I love her, but she does need to sort out that makeup. Gigi's right. Like it's just so rough in comparison to everyone else. It's just not okay. And I actually did like that she went like more drag with the hair because I thought like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take the outfit and make it a bit more drag. But the face is rough, guys. I'm sorry.
But I think the thing is, like, she made it like drag to make it more elegant, and people don't really associate Michelle with elegant. Like, obviously she's done that, but you want to be fun with it. Like, take it tacky. So, like, drag it up in a tacky way. Don't drag it up in a ball gown way. It's not a challenge. Ralph, did you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I did think that hairpiece on Heidi was amazing. I have no idea what Yasmin is saying because I can't hear her when she's on, which is quite funny when you're all laughing and I'm just like, I have no idea what she's saying. But no, I thought her hair was amazing in that outfit. Not my favorite outfit, but I thought it's like hairspray and desperation. Absolutely. Brilliant.
But there obviously was something like a ball or something, right? Like a foam bit or something in there. Something was going on. So like we're definitely missing people. So Sherry, we didn't. Did Sherry actually get a runway? Okay. I don't remember it. So thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't remember. I get putting thumbs up. I don't remember. So Dan. So again, I heard on the Race Chaser podcast. Again, this isn't like a proven thing. Oh, Crystal, definitely talk about Crystal. Thanks, Sue, again. The reason she wasn't on the last week's episode runway last week was probably because it was it was sponsored by Frozen, and there's no way Frozen would want share that scandal associated with their brand endorsement. That's Alaska's theory, and that makes total sense to me. Okay, so Crystal. Okay, I'm going to Dan.
I have no idea what it was. I've completely forgotten.
Red hair. Red hair.
And
that was it. Like red, like fluffy bits, red hair. You don't remember it?
Don't remember it.
Okay, fine.
Soz.
Oh,
sorry, I was the wrong person. Sorry, Ralph, do you want to say something?
No, I just hated it. I must admit, I hated that outfit. It wasn't elegant. It just looked really sloppy. I know what she was going for the look from that picture, but Michelle Visage looked a lot better in that picture and than she actually did on her runway. I didn't know. I thought it was sloppy.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe because she tried to stick to her own makeup style too much, maybe. So I think based on the chat, we've got Britta next. We haven't done Britta yet, have we?
No.
I don't remember what Britta was wearing.
I can't even remember what Britta was wearing.
Oh, the after show thing, right? Dan? I like Dan's reaction. Okay, cool. And then wait, there's one other person I saw in the chat as well who we missed. Wait. Sis.
Jada.
That's it. Yeah. Ralph doesn't remember.
Wait, what did she wear? I'm just saying yes because I love her.
I know. I remember it being good. But I don't actually remember either. Ralph, does anyone remember?
What was it again? Oh yeah. It
Dan
was like
does.
things and shit, and yeah, yes.
Yeah, it was like the bondage one with Icon here, and it was all like leather.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Oh, okay. I want to say Rue as well.
Oh, you can unmute me now, love.
Sorry.
Unmute me.
I'm going to Dan. Dan, you got something you want to say?
Only I never remember what Rue wears. Every week we do this, and I always forget.
But this was especially good bondage, like the massive blonde hair, bondage, whip, blue contacts. Oh God.
Right. Soz.
I'm sorry, but Dan just drowned in the fucking bath. He didn't remember any of the looks.
So I feel like the chat is agreeing with us generally. I feel like we're pretty much on the same page with the looks as well between us, which is always good. So lip sync. Should we move to lip sync? Or like the judging. Do we have anything to say about the judging? Wait, Nina and Quarantina.
I was just going to say, because we actually forgot with Jada and the talking about the runway, we actually also forgot to talk about Jada was pretty good in the actual challenge as well. I feel like had it not been Crystal high, I think it would have been Jada. Personally, I think Jada did a really good job, and I think she's been another one who's been weirdly like Jan. There are a few queens this season who are just under the radar and are not they're not quite getting those push through moments. So Jada and Jan are kind of doing.
I would say Jada's performance in the musical was really hot. It was kind of hot in a way. It was sexy. It was sensual. It was almost a little bit too hot compared to what it should supposed to be. A little bit of a spoof on Madonna. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's kind.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Wait, sorry, back to Quarantina.
Sorry, I think it was perfect because she was fully getting the erotica period of Madonna, and that was spot on erotica period. I thought personally, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, like I sort of said, I do think a lot of it was down to she did. I'm sorry, I don't take anything away. Her performance was very good, but she was heavily led in the direction in the recording, and I'm guessing with the choreography as well. It is hard to know how much of the Queen's own creative input was put into all aspects of their performances. So do you want to talk about the judging, or should we go straight to lip sync? Right, Ralph saying lip sync. Yeah, cool. Okay, down. Okay, cool. So let's go through our thoughts on lip sync. Ralph?
Yeah, it was the right one to go home. Did I feel one was stronger than the other? There was a smidge over Britta. A smidge. It could have gone either way, really. I was really nervous, but I was very happy with the result.
Okay, me personally, I'll jump in here. I don't think so at all. I think Britta was not great at all, and she's done a lot of the stuff she's done previously as well. Maybe that is part of it. So about the second or third time a Queen's lip syncs, if it's not bringing anything new to the table, it's kind of boring. And yeah, I feel all her moves are pretty generic. Go on.
I think one of the things I have problems with Heidi is she's a great dancer, but she's not very good at serving face when she does it. We get this told all the time when we do choreography in the chorus, the London Gay Men's chorus, that remember this: if you look like a dead cadaver, it's not going to work.
Very true. So as I say as well, I totally agree. With my brain just gone blank. Yeah, Suikin, about narrative being changed because of Sherry. You can definitely tell it has changed. It is changing the course of the show, and it is kind of a bit weird because of that. 100%. Dan.
I thought it was totally Heidi's win. I thought Britta just did the same old shit every week. She has really one shtick, which is just she was doing the Jennifer Holiday thing that she did last week, just loud and when it was saying, "Oh, I'm getting hot," and she started billowing her dress, I'm oh, this is just really naff. Whereas Heidi, I thought, had some quite sweet moments, when she got down on her knees, she did some good gymnastic-y things which weren't too desperate. And yeah, I was just worried that Rue was going to do that annoying thing where they just get rid of the better one just for no reason. So I was glad that they didn't, because it was time for Britta to go. I think she's been pretty dreadful as a person, like all the way through the series, and not in a fun, entertaining, silky dickhead kind of way. Just a bit of a dick. So it was good to see her later.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's come across very well at all, unfortunately, on the show. Sorry, Bob. Sorry, I got done the wrong order. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I do think though. I mean, for me, like the lip sync, I kind of agree with Ralph. I think it was only like a little bit ahead, personally. This is the moment where Grant just like immediately mutes me. Like, but like. But like I do think I agree with Dan. I think there were a few more good moments for Heidi, and I also think Britta just looked really desperate for the whole lip sync. You could see there was like a bit of a fear in her face, which you would have anyway. But like her performance was very much like, aha, look at this thing. Oh, I'm burning. See, get it, burning, get it. And you're like, oh, right, fucking hell, okay. Like you're definitely not the only queen who's ever done this dance move or like on the stage here. Like it didn't feel very original. But yeah, I think, and I just wanted Heidi to stick around a bit longer anyway. I'm worried that Heidi might not be there that much longer, but just because I feel like we're getting to the kind of stage where it's going to be harder and harder to justify Heidi being there unless she really starts like racking up some wins or some high placements. But I always think as well, it's harder to judge with like fairly low to mid tempo songs. Like lip syncs at that tempo for me are a little bit harder to judge because there aren't as many moments for like the big dramatic thing that would like tilt you massively in someone's way. I don't know if everyone agrees, but that's how I've always felt about those.
Yeah, I can't do because I'm trying to hold the camera up. But if someone does like that, like spinny like hand thing one more time, like Britta keeps doing, like a little like dip and like moving your hand thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like literally all the queens are doing that. Bob, can you explain? Can you explain it better than I can?
Oh, I don't think I can explain it, but I know exactly what you mean. Like, there are a few moves that are getting quite tired, and like to the extent where I'm actually surprised when people are like, "Ooh," about like a death drop. You're like, I'm so not impressed by them anymore. Like, I could never do one, but at the same time, I just don't find them that dramatic or interesting unless there's something like there's like a fun thing around it, or like they do it in a particularly cool way. I mean, still, it's like.
Yeah, and like this is the other thing as well I was going to say earlier, but I forgot. I said when we were messaging, but like, why is a deep man voice still funny? Like, especially I don't know, like Rue was like losing his shit every single time she went into her man voice, and I honestly don't understand. I found it very transphobic, and I was not here for it. Titus, what do you have to say about that?
I think Tati did it well, but Britta not so much. The lip sync was fine. I thought Heidi definitely did better, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like we're being a bit harsh on Britta. Is it just me? Like she is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be brutal. I don't know. Like what? She's still like a solid queen. Maybe she's a bit annoying. Maybe her mouth is too big and she spits a lot, but she's still polished enough. But I bet that, like, one thing that I was thinking though, Aiden Zane is watching that and getting his fucking laugh. Get her out. Fuck off.
Yes. I think like that's why I used the word unfortunately earlier, because I do think a lot of it is the way she's been edited. She's come across as very unlikable, I think, generally in the show, and I'm sure she had like more favourable times, but haven't really been highlighted, to be honest.
Queen like her, like clearly she felt like she was a joy. I don't know.
Yeah, with Jan's reaction, right? I suppose. So right, I was thinking, should we do final thoughts on it? Like, put your hand up if you have any like extra thoughts on this episode specifically, and then we'd do like an outro or something. Any extra thoughts, anyone? Going once, going twice. Okay, so one of the questions in the chat, sorry, I've been trying to pay attention to that as well, asked who do we think will go next? So let's quickly go through and say who we think is going to go next. I'm going to start the other way around, so I'm going to start Yaz.
Based on what we saw on the preview, I'm thinking Widow is going to be in the bottom. But I don't think she's going to go yet. I don't think it's going to be Heidi because she seemed to do well. So Oh God. Maybe it is Widow. Who else is there? Jada, Widow. Who else is there?
I'm going to say Jackie for me personally.
I don't know. Jackie's sticking around, I think.
Depends what challenge is.
But she's very clever. She would do well on sort of an infomercial kind of thing. I think it's gonna be maybe Widow. I'm gonna call Widow.
Actually, I'd say after what you said, I'd say Widow as well personally. Right, Nina.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think probably more likely Heidi, because I think what will probably happen is if it is a lip sync between Heidi and Widow, I think Widow would beat her more just because it would be Heidi's third. And also, I don't know, it could be the kind of challenge because she's naturally very charming and very funny, Heidi. So it could be the kind of challenge she absolutely kills. But I also kind of think she's going to be like one who seems really good and then like it just doesn't quite hit. I'm worried that it might be that. I don't want it to be Heidi, but I mean, I feel like it probably will be.
Okay, sorry, I keep forgetting who's muted, who's unmuted. Dan, who do you think?
So this is who we think is going to go out next year.
Yeah.
Because I was just wondering, Michelle made the comment of like, I wanted you to be funnier than that and expected you to be funny. So I'm just trying to think who the funny ones are. And that makes me worried for Jackie a little bit because Jackie is quite of a fun queen. But I'm kind of hoping it's Widow. I've just not warmed to Widow for some reason. Like I've wanted to because she's had like a really horrible life. But I just don't get excited by her. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping it's Widow.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Ralph.
I hope it's Widow, but I think it's going to be Heidi.
Okay, fair. I mean, I don't think like any of our guesses are outrageous. Back to Sis.
I think maybe Crystal, actually. Crystal might be in the bottom for that. I don't know. I haven't seen like up until now, until this challenge, I haven't seen her in the top very much, and she hasn't been the greatest actress until now. So I don't know. She could go either way. So maybe it's a Widow. Bottom. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully Crystal finds her confidence now. Nina.
Because I think basically in some ways the question of this is also who do we know is definitely like almost definitely not going to go home, because I think there are some queens who we know at this point are kind of untouchable unless there's a kind of Valentina sort of situation, you know. So like I can't see, for example, like Jada, Jan, Sherry or Gigi going home this like at all. Like for me, I think they will be top 4.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm typing in chat at the same time. Okay, interesting. And Suikin saying he thinks Jackie will go, but he wants Widow to go. I'm kind of it's kind of it for me this season. Like I kind of don't mind if a few of them go at this point. Still, there's still like a few that I'm like proper rooting and in love with at the moment. So I'm not massively invested in the bottom queens at the moment, personally, apart from Crystal. Yeah. So yeah. So does anyone have any extra thoughts on anything to do with the episode specifically, or anything they want to say about this season of Drag Race? Okay, Dan.
I just think we were saying this the other night when we chatted. Like it's like the saddest series of Drag Race. I almost feel like I want to rewatch it when we're out of this fucking lockdown, because this will always be lockdown Drag Race, because it's basically the week before everything happened. So like I've often just watched a lot of the episodes like, oh, what the fuck? So it'll be weird to rewatch it like at a because I rewatch Drag Race all the time. In a few years I'll rewatch it and be like, oh, it's a bit triggering, or maybe I'll be like, actually this was funnier than I remember.
Interesting. Yeah, like I agree. I think we should like all get together and binge watch it like maybe in like half a year's time or something. I agree completely, because like as Dan and I were chatting about this, and like I associate Drag Race so heavily with you guys and like the social aspect of it, like you guys hang out with you guys in person, like the chat and everything. Like it's such like a social thing for me, like all being together. And like although I'm still enjoying the show, it does kind of make me sad at the same time, like watching this season. And then all the other stuff with like Sherry, and then also like the girls have been quite vicious on Twitter as well. There is like a bit of a bad energy to this season for me as well. Like I'm still enjoying it, but yeah. Sorry, sisters, go.
No, I was gonna say next, but anyways, I was just gonna ask if anyone in the chat or anyone of you guys know anything about the nudes, the leak, something about leak on nudes or someone having sex that was leaked.
Dan. Also, can I say you're gagging for those nudes? You asked me about 10 times for those nudes. But anyway, going to Dan.
I saw the
Mute.
whole.
Hello. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'll mute you, Dan. Sorry, go on, Dan.
Yeah, they're not nudes. It's a video. So it's a video of Rockham at probably Folsom Street Fair in San Francisco with his dick out, and someone just comes up and gives him a blowjob, and it's a substantial penis. I will say it's as good as his thighs.
Yes, we've seen it. Yes, they were sent in the group chat. We've talked about it already in the group chat. I thought you knew. I thought you knew about that one. Oh, okay. Yeah. But why is it controversial as well? Yeah, do you know why why it's controversial?
No, I just thought I heard that something was leaked, and people were like, "Oh my god, people are like shit, like leaking shit like that, like leaking people's privacies and stuff." That's all I saw on Twitter. I was like, "Oh, what got leaked, and where can I see it?"
So you sort of in the chat, scroll up in the chat. But also, I don't think it is a massive scandal because like it's like a public again, maybe Ralph and Dan know. Basically, all of you guys probably know more than me. But like it seems like a public like sex focused paradey kind of thing where everyone's walking around naked and sex stuff's going on. So yeah, Ralph, go on.
Yeah, Folsom is if you stand like that and you don't notice that someone with a camera phone, it's clearly that he's probably either a nudist in out of drag, and that's just a thing that happened on camera. I don't think there's any drama around it. It was just a video that popped up on my Twitter because my Twitter is filthy. So it was just a bit funny. It's like, oh, that's a queen I know.
Yeah, and as well, like you guys were all saying, like she looked like she feels weird saying she in this context, but yeah, he looked great. Like he's so it's got, like I think he's only done him the world of good, if anything. So keep going, a bit further. That's the one. You've got it. So Suikin is whipping out his CUNT. Should we all do this as well? So he's giving charisma to Crystal. Okay, let's go through it then. Super quick. So everyone just say a name when I unmute you. So charisma, Ralph.
Jan.
Dan.
Gigi, just because she was Madonna.
Yaz.
Oh, that's me. I'm going to say Jackie for the story with AOC.
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna say AOC.
Fair. I haven't actually thought about it if he's trying to do this stream. Crystal. Okay, uniqueness, Ralph.
Uniqueness. Crystal for her rendition of Ray of Light.
Okay, cool. Dan.
Crystal.
Bob.
Crystal. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely Crystal. Also, Sutukin is a better host than you. You completely forgot about C20. Who are you?
He genuinely is. Sorry, it's honestly like a lot to think about. I can't think about anything on a day-to-day basis generally, and now I'm trying to like look at like muting, unmuting, look at the chat. Like it's all kicking off. Oh, so Suikin gave uniqueness to Gigi, which is who I was going to give it to as well because of the runway look and the performance. I don't know about the performance, the runway look. And Kurt is giving it to Widow. Kurt's giving his Christmas to Heidi. So Nerve next, Ralph.
Britta had nerve of being a very, very fake bitch and kind of going, "Oh, I love her. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss her." What fucking nerve?
Lol. Dan.
Nerve. I would say Widow for kind of getting on with it with her knee being split. So that was good. But I didn't realize that. And when they played the clip back, you wouldn't have seen her like flinch or anything. So that was good.
That's fair. Bob.
Nerve, I would say whoever wrote the doing the gays song or whatever it was, because that was like
no, yeah, very fair. Okay, yes.
I'm gonna give nerve to Jada because she turned me on. I was sweating. I was legit sweating.
All good nerves. Nice one, guys. On that note, I'm going to give my nerve to Rue for that same reason. Suki's giving his to Britta. Maybe, I'm guessing, for similar reasons to you guys. I would say it's Kurt as well. T, Ralph, talent.
Talent, I would say Gigi, because she pulled it out of the bag. When she did the recording, she looked so nervous and so uncomfortable, which is the first time we've seen her like that. But when she did her performance, she was on point.
Dan.
I'll go Jan just because I thought her her recording was so good, and I've already given Gigi the other bit. So if anyone was going to beat Gigi, it was Jan. She was great.
Cool. Bob?
Yeah, kind of Jan, Gigi, or Jada. Like, I just feel like any one of them individually did a really good job in their parts.
Cool. Yes?
Just Jan. Jan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jan as well. And Kurt, I know. I like. Our group chat is still called Special Little Snowflakes. I need to bring that back. And we also used to call it Under the Palm Tree as well, which I kind of miss. I remember that, Yaz. I miss that. That's something we had all these like little like names now. I need to bring them all back again, but it seems like so much effort, you know. You guys know I'm not about that production. Okay, right. I need to think this through. What we're gonna do? Should we talk about like so? Do we have stuff to actually? You know what? Like recommendations at this time is probably like extra important. So if you guys have anything you want to shout out, any like TV shows, like movies, music. I know what Yaz is gonna say already. Games. Like I come to you last, Ralph. Bob, you look like you've got something you want to say. So in regards to this, so go on.
Oh, I was still trying to think. I've just been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I've been listening to Dua Lipa's album, and which is good. And I've been watching the most recent season of Nailed It, which is like my happy place. So between those, like that perfect little triangle, I'm a fairly happy Bob. And lots of books. Books are good.
Okay. Yes.
All right, definitely Dua Lipa's new album. Don't you fucking tell me that that's not the best pop album released in the last 5 years. Anyways, I'm right, you're wrong. Anyway, also, if you haven't watched Tiger King, what are you doing with your life? That's all I can say. But the unexpected one for me is I'm a big fan of Community, and they've just released the whole of Community on Netflix, and it's been keeping me really happy and sane. So Community.
That's nice to binge that. Dan?
This is so sad. So I'm living with my mum and dad at the moment. I'm self-isolating with them, and I'm getting into a routine with the programs that they watch. And I'm like, can we watch this one tonight? So there's two which I'll recommend because they're both such trash and so good. One is 10 Years Younger in 10 Days, which is like they just get two randoms off the street who look dreadful, pump them full of fillers, they do new teeth, style them, and it's fucking amazing. And you're like, how the fuck is that the same person? And it's like with minimal money. It's really good. Like go and binge it. It's on Channel 5 because that's the kind of person I am now. And the other one, and I've forgotten the name of it, but you get people in it who live in a house, they want to restyle the house. Two designers design what they think the house should look like, and they put it in VR so that people then go into the VR and look at two designs, and then they choose the one they want, and then they make it happen in real time, and at the end you see it as it was in the VR.
That's interesting, but also that is just the way things are going to be in like 5 years anyway. So.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, sorry, Dan, totally cut you off. That also was enough from you, Ralph.
Two recommendations. I would say if you have access to it, Will and Grace season 11. It's very good. It's very funny. And I would say I just watched the feature-length episode of Red Dwarf, Promised Land, which is on Dave at the moment, or UK Play.
Cool, nice one. So for me, actually, on that note, with Dan with like trash TV, so Yaz and I binged The Circle. Like we started pre-quarantine and we finished it. Bob, have you seen it as well? Oh my god, like it is like complete trash, but it's kind of like absolutely amazing at the same time. So I highly recommend that for like trash TV. But obviously Tiger King as well. If you haven't seen Tiger King, get off of this stream. And that was it. Lauren Jaregui, Lento. Like I had that on repeat, the live Vivo version. Like her voice is ridiculous. Yes, yes, know what's going on. So 100 like her voice. Oh my god. So they're my recommendations. I think obviously Animal Crossing as well. So yeah, guys, I sort of said this last week, and some people weren't comfortable with it. And if that's like the sort of case this week, we won't do it. But I was also thinking like it could be nice for people like if you fancy it, like chatting about like how we're dealing with quarantine, like how we're feeling. Like what's going on. I think it could be quite helpful to put it out there, but also if you guys don't feel comfortable with that, we can just like chat privately or whatever. Everyone seems cool. So I feel like Dan would be a good one to start with if you're comfortable with that, Dan. And also like guys in like Suitor King Kurt as well, like, you know, we got, you know, I consider you guys friends kind of thing. We all know each other. Like I'm curious to, you know, yeah, like, I hope you guys are doing okay and everything given the situation. So, you know, let us know what's been going on, how you've been dealing with it. It's difficult for everyone, right? And same sort of, if anyone comes across this stream afterwards, I don't know if people are actually going to watch this later or not, but let us know in the chat as well. Like, I think it's really good that we can all sort of support each other in any way we can. So yeah, so Dan, go on.
Yeah. So I mean, Bob will certainly know this because me and Bob have spoken a lot, but I found it really fucking hard. I've really struggled. The last 3 days is really the first time I've been like, actually, this might be okay. I got really apocalyptic about it initially, and I was a fucking mess for the first 3 weeks. I'm with my parents, and I just was like crying on my mum, and it just really fucking blindsided me. But I think I'm at the point now where I feel like lots of good stuff will come out of this. Because I think, you know, I speak to a lot of people who were like maybe a bit apathetic about life before this happened. And I'm like, yeah, I probably was. I was probably getting a bit bored and a little bit kind of taking stuff for granted. So to be at the point where like you really appreciate a fucking hug or the fact that I can't see you lot and I'm just so desperate to is just a really good thing. And when we get out the other side of it, like it's going to feel so weird because we'd have been through a time when we couldn't go into town for a walk, we couldn't see our friends, we couldn't have a hug. So I'm trying to be philosophical and just think it's that classic, like, what doesn't kill you make you stronger type thing, that if we can get through this, I actually think a lot of people who live with anxiety, and pretty much I do, might actually feel a bit better at the end of this, because they're like, if you can get through that, which basically took everything away in one go, like stability, friends, like my chorus, all the stuff I like to do, and still be fine, is like only a good thing. And I have to be grateful. I'm with my parents and I get fed and I get my washing done for me, and like I'm pretty well looked after. But fuck, I feel like a 12-year-old boy.
Oh, that's really nice to hear, though, Dan. Not necessarily, but actually, especially the last bit, just because, like, you know, you have found it really sorry, you have found it really tough, and that's really nice to hear, because I think there definitely are positives in every sort of rough situation, but also I think it is important to say, like, yeah, like we have all been pretty up and down, right? Like, although like there's definitely positive things to focus on, like there are definitely tough times as well. I also wanted just to quickly say, going through the chat, like Sutikin saying he stopped him moving into his new flat, which sucks. It really does. And he's considered vulnerable due to asthma, allergies, and immune system. So I can't leave my parents' house. So I relate. My anxiety is being tested to the max, Dan. Yeah, it's really difficult. And Kurt saying he's gained weight. He's not happy with how he looks. His mum's a Tesco worker and she's working. That's concerning. Dad's stressed out. And about that, and I hate not working. I fucking miss a gym. I really need a hug, to hug a man. I know, Kurt. We're sending you virtual hugs. Yeah. I think it's important for everyone to share their stories. So who wants to go next?
Oh, yeah. It's. I would say the first week of quarantine, I was put through the ringer, because I lost a friend to COVID, who lives in Belgium, or lived in Belgium. So that was also in the same week as the anniversary of my dad's death from last year. So that week was tough. The first week was really fucking tough. And it was not really anything to do. It was just everything on top of each other. It was like, okay, let's just do everything in 1 week instead of leveling it out. But in general, I'm okay. One of the things I'm really grateful for is all the work I've done on me in the last 4 years. If I'd still been in active addiction right now, Jesus Christ, I couldn't imagine what I would be doing right now. I would have been completely nuts. So, in the greater scheme of things, it could be a lot worse for me. Have I had bad days? Yes. But I have a great support network. I have a job that supports me. We have free counseling through work. So I did a one-to-one counseling session yesterday, which was really, really great. It was nice to kind of talk to a stranger and kind of go through things, and I also kind of get another person giving me compliments, kind of going, well, Ralph, you're amazing. You are tackling this really well compared to all some of the shit you've been through. and I was actually open to take those compliments. I'm not very good with compliments, but it was really nice to hear.
That's really sweet as well. I love you guys. That's really good to hear. Yes.
Me. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just like, oh, Rob. One thing that you just said, like, oh, I have very good support from my company as well, but they haven't discussed anything in regards to counseling, and I think they would be very supportive with that. So I'm actually going to reach out to them now that you said it and ask if there's anything at the moment that is being offered, because yeah, I think people will be even more not just for me, who, you know, I've done therapy all my life, but like people who haven't done it before and might be struggling now, it might actually turn out to be a very like sort of silver lining on this situation. It might open up for people who still think therapy is a bit of a taboo to kind of like go into it maybe virtually first before they see someone in person. And yeah, I think it's actually a good idea. You gave me a good idea to reach out to HR and say something. Sorry, yeah, boy, you can unmute yourself.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you though. That's literally what my counsellor said to me a couple of days ago. Is it's kind of put everyone in a level playing field in terms of anxiety, because literally everyone's anxious at the moment generally, and actually could have a really big shift potentially in terms of like society and the way people view counselling. So I think that's a really good point to make. Sorry, continue.
No, yeah, I just think I hadn't even thought about that before. Oh, it's just so hard not to focus on like all the hard fucking things, and you feel like for me it's been a mix of like guilt and like gratitude that I have, like for having such a good like position in like professionally that, you know, allows me to work from home. They send me my chair, like they're amazing. And like I can work from home and it doesn't change anything, and you feel grateful and you also feel concerned for like people who don't have that, and then you feel guilt because you're like you want to do stuff, but where do you start, what do you do? And if there's anything that, you know, if you guys know about anything that we can do to help, please, like, you know, send your options, your you know, your recommendations. That would make me feel really, really grateful. And yeah, but at the same time it's important to remember that everything now, like we're alone, we're on our own. And first things first, you got to take care of yourself. You can't take care of anyone else or help anyone else if your mind is not in a good state. So I think the priority needs to be your mental state. Like, don't feel guilty all the time of all the things that you're not doing, or other people that you're not helping. Like, that's not good for your head. Once you're okay, then you can do other things and you can be productive and you can help people, even if it's just your mom or your family. That's good enough. Anything is good enough. Just getting through is good enough, I feel like. Yeah, and I'm just grateful for what I have, and every day it's like yesterday it was a bad day. It was a very, very bad day. But then today I'm here with you guys. I'm happy. I feel good. I feel grateful. I feel blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. So you never know. You will get out of bed. You will be fine. And this will be over. So yeah, that's my message.
Cool. Are you looking banging AF today? Dan, I'm going back to you.
I think Yaz just said something about like looking after your mental health, and I think I've really struggled, and I'm so lucky to still have a job and to still be working. But fuck, is it hard to motivate yourself some days to like get up and pretend that that's normal? And I read something online last week which made me just kind of go, oh, thank you. And it was something that just says you are not working from home, you are at your home during a crisis trying to work. And it's just so true, because I feel like there's an expectation that I've got to still be like I would have been at the office, when actually like it's a fucking wrench to get up and like And because I'm in HR, like I know about all the employees' relatives that have died, and one of our employees died in America, and like I'm having to furlough people at some point, and it's scary, and you have to kind of always be reminded of this is a big thing and it's really impacting people. But yeah, I think that's just a really important thing to remember, that like work is important, but our mental health is more so. And also I've been doing a lot of guided meditation on YouTube, and it's really good before I go to bed and when I wake up. And I've been asleep till 11 o'clock today and yesterday till 11 a.m., which I never do. So that's good.
Nice. Bob, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I really appreciate everything you guys have just been saying. Like, because I think it was weird because actually, as you're saying, I'm like, this is exactly what I've been thinking. Like, so actually, you know, I hadn't previously thought of myself as being that anxious a person, even though I knew I was a pretty anxious person. And I think what's been really interesting about this, kind of like what Yaz and Dan were just saying, is I kind of was like, oh, you know what, maybe therapy is probably something I should, like, or counseling or something, is something I should look at some point in my life. And it was kind of like always, maybe I'll sort it out another time. And it's weird because as much as I hadn't thought I was that, I think people do that thing, don't they? I think always thinking like, oh, like it's not big enough. Like I'm not like, oh, you know, it's just little old me. I'm just being a bit whiny. Actually, no, this is a real thing. This does affect me. And so, for example, I don't think I've told all of you this, but essentially last week, maybe, there was basically a fire in my dad's shed and our neighbor's shed as well. We're still not sure yet if basically like it was intentional or not. But anyway, it shook me up in quite a big way, even if I didn't want to admit it at the time. And I did bury it, which is why I haven't told most of you guys, because I just kind of didn't want to, like, it just kind of, I couldn't stop and think about it because it would make me too anxious to function, almost too anxious to function. For me, it triggered a lot of old things I have around. I've kind of told a lot of you about it before. My dad is a massive hoarder. Our whole house is basically just paper, cardboard, dust, wood. Like, it's very flammable. And I've had anxieties around that since I was about 12. And again, had massively buried that, hadn't really thought about it. So the shed, I just had this whole thing of like, fuck, like it's not actually going to be COVID that kills us. It's going to be this fire. And so I got into this whole thing about it and slept really badly, and then just was really only half in it for a couple of days. And I think I kind of buried that under, you know what, I'm just a bit sleepy and just a bit whatever, and didn't really address it. And then I realized, kind of like Dan and Yaz have just been saying, I've kind of been doing this for years, like with a few things. And I think this is actually weirdly one of the odd silver linings to come from this, is to kind of actually be face to face with like, no, Bob, like these are things that are actually holding you back and affecting you in a big way, COVID-19 or not. Like, you need to address some of these. And like, also just massively want to say like, thank you to you guys. It's just been like wonderful over the last like couple of weeks to just be like, I'm feeling a bit shit, and people just be like, I love you, you've got this, go do it. I think as well, I really want to follow up. Sorry, I'm just rabbiting now. I really want to follow up what Yaz has just been saying as well. Like, I think I had this whole thing in my head, as a few of you know, I'm a bit of an eager overachiever kind of type at times. And so I was just like, right, this is great. I've finally got time to do this novel, like finish this novel I've been writing, and I'm going to do this other novel, and do all this reading. And I just started getting into these things, and then feeling this weird guilt that I didn't do all of it. And I think what's been really helpful for me recently, for the last few weeks, has just been to really stop and think, actually, okay, like Dan was saying, I've got a lot to be grateful for. I'm in a really privileged position. I have the safety and security of many things that mean we're okay. I'm living with my parents. I can check in on them, make sure they're okay. But aside from all of that stuff around feeling really grateful for all of that, I think it's also just been like giving myself a bit of like time off to kind of be like, okay, Bob, you did about 3 hours of anything probably about 2 hours of anything approaching work today. That's okay. Actually, you didn't have that much to do. You did what you needed to. You can pick up any other stuff tomorrow. This is not like, you're not working at the UN. This is not the most important thing. Are my parents safe? Have I done things to keep them safe? Yes, I have. That's good. I can go to bed and be fine with it. And I've just been really trying to just be like, actually, like you guys said, like, focusing on mental health. I had a massive sense of guilt when the whole NHS volunteers thing went out, because I thought, like, I have the time to do this. I also live with 2 parents in their 70s, so I'm not doing this. And I'm not actually in the mental state to be able to do this. And I had to really hold my own hand and be like, do not fucking feel guilty for not being one of those NHS volunteers, because you are not in a position to help. Like, not mentally, not physically, by the fact I live with 2 parents who I cannot risk being out for extended periods. Even when I go running, I feel quite guilty coming back. Like, this is really selfish, but I know I need that for my own sanity. So yeah, thank you all for being amazing. Sorry, I've just really hogged the last 15 hours of this chat, but I really, really appreciate it. And like, you guys are bloody wonderful. So thank you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I keep getting to unmute everyone, including myself. I think what's really nice about all your guys' stories is, like, you know, like I said, we've all found it challenging in different ways. Like, we've all gone through some rough stuff. Like Ralph, especially, like, I'm really sorry to hear about, you know, losing your friends and all that. Like, it's, you know, we've all gone through like difficult times. Like, you actually had a really rough day yesterday. I had a really rough day as well. Sorry, Ralph, I'll unmute you.
Yeah, I want to echo. I just read what Sudikin said in the chat. I'm really sorry to hear about your 2 friends, and one NHS worker in coma. That's awful. That's really sad. Yeah, I'm really feeling for you.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just about to bring it up as well. But what I was going to say as well is, like, you know, despite all the, like, really difficult aspects of this, like, you guys all had something positive to say as well about yourselves and about the situation. I think that's really nice. It is an ongoing journey. Again, I feel we will have down days and times where it will seem worse, but also I think other revelations and other times where it will seem more positive as well. And, you know, as Dan and I have been saying, like, we will get through this. Like, it's just the shit for the time being. It's shit for everyone. But, you know, like, when you go for something really rough, like a breakup or like losing someone, like, it's really, really, really difficult. It feels impossible initially, but, like, it's cheesy, but time does heal. Like, we'll all be fine in like X number of months, like, you know, X number of years. We're like we won't give a shit about this time, really. Like, if, you know, it won't be difficult for us then, you know. So I think it's just a case of doing what we can. And, like, as you guys all said, like, it's okay to be a bit selfish to prioritize your own mental health at this time. I really think that is the best thing we can all be doing, really. And if you can give more than that, then absolutely great. But don't feel bad in any way. Like, I think so I forgot who said, I think it was Dan, right? Like, that I think the thing, especially, like, yeah, we're not working from home. We're going through a really difficult situation. And I guess Bob said as well, like, you know, we should be proud of ourselves for sort of anything we do in the end. Like, this is really difficult for all of us. Don't be like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Like, if we get through a day, like, where mental health not horrific, then I think we're doing all right, you know. Like I said, like, there's more important things, which again everyone's sort of realizing as well. Sorry, Ralph, I'll unmute you.
Someone pointed out to me, because there's a lot of, like, you have to go out and do exercise, you have to be baking, you have to be doing all these things when you're staying at home to entertain yourself. It's okay just to sit on your ass and watch Netflix. That's perfectly fine as well. If that means you are okay, perfectly fine. You don't have to do all the things they're telling you to do. It's a suggestion online to do some exercise, mainly because we're not moving around as much as we used. When they say exercise, it's like we normally take like 10,000 steps a day. Now we're more or less just doing, like, I'm walking from my desk to my kitchen and that's it. So that's why they're saying exercise for the circulation. But a lot of people are spending time with their families and baking and putting it on Instagram and so on. And you feel a little bit guilty. You're not doing anything and you're just sitting on your ass. But to be honest, it's fine. It's a weird situation to be in. So whatever your reality is and whatever you want to do with the time, that is your time. And you don't have to be forced to do all the other stuff all the other idiots are doing. So yeah, don't let that stress you out.
Yeah, no, well said. Sorry, I think we all laughed towards the end because you just saw Sutikid's message. Also very true. I was going to say something else, but it's just throwing me off. Oh, that's the other thing about the exercise stuff, as Ralph just said, and also like Kurt was saying as well. Like that's the other thing that we're all feeling a bit rubbish about ourselves as well. I think that's important to acknowledge. Like, you know, again, like everyone's like out on Instagram, like nothing's going on. They're still like, yeah, like trying to be healthy, doing all this, like never felt better, doing all this at-home exercise and like eating healthy. It's like what? Like none of us can get decent food. None of us can exercise. Like I needed to go to the gym to force me to actually look after myself a little bit. Can't do that anymore. I'm going to shit. Like we've eaten the same like meals every day because it's hard to get hold of stuff. Like. But again, like I'm not focusing on it. There are more important things in the world. Like I feel a bit shit about myself, but we all do. Like there's more, you know, there's worse things going on. Like I don't know. I think there's loads of different ways it is difficult for everyone. So yeah. But also, I think Kurt was saying earlier on, like it's helpful for him to like have these kind of chats. And I think that's super cool as well. And I'm definitely happy to do that more. I think like something for me that I know you guys know that I haven't like talked about here is like the way I deal with things that are difficult for me. Like saying about the teenager is like escapism. So I was like heavily into MMOs and stuff. And I was going through a bit of a rough time as a teenager, just like live a whole different life online and just only ever think about that. So for me, that's kind of like the way I've dealt with it over the last few weeks. And I think for me, it's like made me far less social because my friends are the most important thing in my life. And I think I find it really difficult. Like I can't actually see you guys. And so like because of that, it just makes me sad. And so because of that, I kind of just shut myself off. Like I've barely been talking to friends. Like I've been avoiding all sort of like group virtual hangouts and stuff. And instead just focusing on my immediate world, like trying to engross myself in like games and TV shows and that, which probably isn't like the healthiest thing. So like I'm feeling like a bit of a shit friend as well at the moment. Like I just feel like we're all kind of like I appreciate you guys saying that. I think we're like I feel like we're all just it's just like difficult in different ways. In so many different ways, you know, for everyone. But on that, but sorry, going back to what I was just saying, but Kurt said this kind of stuff helps. And I think it's helped us all. I think it's super nice. I really appreciate you guys like saying all the stuff you said as well and being so open about everything. And like if we can help people in any way, even like anyone in any way by doing this, I think Kurt's right. Like we should try and do this more often, right? Like it's not like we've got time to do it. And again, no pressure. Like we can just like try and do a couple of streams a week. Maybe I got this laptop. We could do like some Jackbox party with you guys, like Kurt Sukin, whoever fancies getting involved, cause like whoever's fancies it. Like I'm up for putting more effort into that now. Like I said, like we'll all have down days and days we don't fancy doing it, and we should push ourselves to do that. But yeah. So sorry, Dan, I'm gonna unmute you.
All I will say is no conspiracy theories. Hey kids.
What is that? Is that Truth is Alchemy? I think he's hey Truth. I think he's like jumped on here because he's looking for live chats to like share his views. Yeah. So yeah. So I guess that's kind of where we leave it today, right? Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Bob, I'll unmute you.
Sorry, just like the little keen puppy in the corner, like, listen to me. I just wanted to follow on from what Grant was saying. I think like it's totally natural as well in this moment to kind of only really be able to focus on what's immediately in front of you, because I think we have all kind of gone into a bit of a survival sort of state of mind. And I know that for me, like I found it, I feel like I've not like in work, I feel like I've had more video meetings than I've ever had normal meetings in my life. And like, I also feel like so many people are getting in touch, which is so lovely. Like it's really great to reach out, and we shouldn't stop doing that. But I also think sometimes you just cannot emotionally deal with that. And like, you know, you've got like 30 messages from people, you know, Mr. Popular, no, like 30 messages from people, all kind of being like, oh God, are you all right? Let's check in. And actually sometimes you can't mentally deal with that. I just saw that comment. Yeah, I'm not going to acknowledge it. But like, I think sometimes it's difficult to emotionally deal with that, because actually every conversation feels like you're rehashing like, oh God, I've got to keep engaging with thinking about the things that are scaring me so much. And so I think sometimes it is quite good to just be able to be like, you know what, okay, like I'll get back to that person a bit later. They're not going to worry if that is the case. And thank you, Grant. And I also just like, I mean, I know you don't necessarily need us to say it, but I also want to say like, Grant, you've not been a shit friend at all. I think all of us probably have that guilt at the moment that we're not doing enough or not being enough. And I think like Yaz was saying earlier, I think we do need to like let that go. But I think like, I know that for all of you and for other people as well, that we've got each other's backs if we need, but at the same time we also need to look after, like, you know, we need to have a bit of time for ourselves as well. So yeah, none of you have been shit at all. If anything, you've been wonderful, just because I know like how brilliant you all are and how like you're all going through your own bits as well. So yeah, please don't feel guilty about that.
Thanks for saying that, Paul. I appreciate it. Sorry. Yes.
This is a final note. I'd like to announce that I am Truth is Alchemy. 9/11. Your hands out of the Open your eyes, people. Goodbye. Love you guys. I'm just kidding. I will enjoy my Netflix. Thank you very much.
I kind of love him for that, to be honest. So yeah, okay, guys. So also, sorry, I just want to say as well, like, Kurt, I'm sorry you have such a rubbish time. I have been reading everything you've been saying in the comments. It's really rubbish. Like, hopefully, work will like be a bit better about things. And I like what I say is like, I know it can be expensive, but if there's any way you could afford counselling yourself if you need to, I think it could really help. But maybe it doesn't necessarily have to even be every week. Like maybe, you know, every so often when you can afford it, kind of thing. I really would prioritize that if work won't help you out with that, or your dad's contact. Again, proper funny. Love that for you. So yeah, so okay. I mean, like I said, like I think it would be cool to try and do more streams and hang out. Like if you guys can make it, it's awesome that you guys made on such short notice as well. So yeah, if you guys fancy more streams, even just like hang out, just like talk about how we've been doing the last few days, like I'm up for that. We've been doing it anyway. I know I should make an effort to do that more generally as well. I'm happy to do that like in this sort of format if it helps other people in any way. And also like play games like Jackbox Party and stuff. Like that'd be fun. Seeing like Suited can whoever fancies can get involved in that as well. So I'm down for that if you guys fancy it. Cool. So yeah. So sorry. Any sort of final thoughts? Does anyone have on anything in particular? Bob. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, I will stop like at some point. I just really wanted to like send some love towards like Sutukin and Kurt. And I think we had someone else as well on briefly, apart from Truth is Alchemy. Just to kind of be like, actually, it's so lovely to have you joining, like, you know, it being this kind of community with you guys. And it's actually genuinely like a pleasure to see you every time. So yeah. All right, Kron. But yeah, it's genuinely lovely. And yeah, please do continue to like chat with us. Like I think our social media have been on some of them before as well. So if you do also want to reach out and like chat individually, like do let us know.
Bob just like fully trying to get those dick pics to get him through quarantine. And I respect that. Honestly, I respect that. No, as I say, I consider you guys friends. Like, you know, I really appreciate you guys joining us, hanging out and everything. So yeah. So what I'm going to do then, I'm just going to unmute us all and we'll just say bye, right? And then we'll do a stream sometime soon, hopefully. Cool. Right. Everyone is unmuted. Cool.
Bye.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Tom's just trying to end it. Bye.